You know, whenever I come to New Orleans, I have to dress like this. You need beads, you need a loud shirt. But you know what else happens when I come here? I think of the Saints come marching in, because the Saints play football in the Dome every Sunday. But now when you're a monster truck and your name is Gravedigger, you are hardly a saint. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Moriarty. Welcome to TNN's Motor Madness Monster Jam. What's on tap this week? Well, a lot. Like always, the finals of last week's Monster Trucks. We got that. We got Quad Wars, always a fan favorite. And we have Sand Drags, the Thunder Body kind. In a flash, here's what happened last week. Now, Bayou boys, take it away. Doesn't it feel festive this evening? And by the way, do you have your beads on? I can loan you some.
No, Dan, we'll let you handle the beads here tonight. We're ready for some monster truck racing, though. We got our engines ready to roar here tonight, and I think we're going to have a great show as we're down to our semifinals here in New Orleans. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Hogwood, along with Scott Douglas. Excited about this show in the Superdome tonight.
Absolute all-star Final Four lineup. It is really going to be Star Wars when we hit the track for the semifinals. Let's look who's here for the Final Four. You've got Monster Patrol, Paul Schaefer bringing that big Chevrolet into town. The red-hot Ford Gunslinger, Scott Hartsock's back with us tonight.
And maybe an underdog tonight. Samson is here. And then, of course, there's the big favorite, Gravedigger. A lot of Digger fans here in the Superdome tonight.
Now, here's how they're going to match up as we get to the semifinals. You'll see that it's going to be Monster Patrol squaring off with Samson, then Gunslinger against Gravedigger. Remember, Gunslinger has had everybody's number of late. Digger wants to get him.
And we've got a lot of other action here tonight as well. Sand Drags here in New Orleans. That's always a fun event. And our Quad Wars are back. You'll want to stay tuned. All the action is coming up straight ahead right here on TNN's Motor Madness Monster Jam.
All right, now look at this. This is called a ski mogul. It's dirt, it's sand, it's mud, there's no snow, but that's what Jargon Jam's about. But hold on, there's more. And here's the rest. Crush Cars, tonight's Jargon Jam.
The ski mobiles or whippy-doos. I prefer them as whippy-doos. That's what we got at this track tonight. We got one big mobile, the first mobile we start on.
We call them whoopie-doos. Now, Digger, he's from South Carolina, and that's a whole different story, you know. So their dictionary and mine is not the same.
I said, well, these whippy-doos could mess you up, especially your first run out. So more than likely, I'll mess up my first run.
If you land too far on off the first jump, you done lost the race.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. You're done, because that second jump is going to throw you so out of whack. It's that simple. Yeah. I mean, you're done from the beginning. You're done right there.
If we got a good ramp, we never touch the cars. That leaves them an uncrushed car situation. Now, if it's a short ramp or something like that, you're going to hit the cars, and actually you're going to have crushed cars at the end of the night. You get to go out there and actually mutilate the cars. Then you become scrap iron.
I didn't realize smashing the cars was that technical, but you talk to Scott, you learn all kinds of things.
I didn't either. There is Samson, who is in the semifinals against Monster Patrol. You see both trucks staging, getting ready to go here. And Samson has not won yet, but he's been the fast qualifier in every round.
Of course, that comes to an end now. We're at the semifinals. No longer can you advance by being the fastest qualifier in a previous round. It's now win or put it on the trailer. So let's look at our full-on field for the semi.
Dan Patrick behind the wheel of Samson. He's a veteran. He knows now no more fast qualifying. He's got to win. He's going to be going after it against Monster Patrol. Monster Patrol has been running great here in New Orleans.
He's been as smooth as anybody, and Paul Schaefer has had the power on the straightaways, and he's cornered very, very well. I would have to say Monster Patrol's a solid favorite here, unless Dan Patrick can figure out a way to get through that corner a lot smoother and then be straight and squared up for the end of the course so that he can really use that Hemi and power on to the finish.
There you get a look at Monster Patrol. The trucks are staged. We are ready to go. And remember, this is a U course. The turn is very, very critical. So is the beginning. Looks pretty even early. Monster Patrol may have a little edge heading into this turn. And as they make it, here comes Sampson over the crush cars. Boy, it's very, very close.
It appears Sampson held him off at the finish. Again, remember now, it's not where they land. It's the yellow cones that mark the finish line, but there's the key. Sampson, for the first time tonight, really got through the turn beautifully, and bang, right there at the yellow cones, Sampson had the edge by maybe 6 inches.
And you'll remember Dan Patrick told us that he had not found the right line. He had been searching for it, where he found it then and pulled off what I consider a little bit of an upset over Paul Schaefer.
Taking another look right here as they come to that finish line. You can see, again, right there at the yellow finish line. That's the key, folks, as you're watching it. Even though, again, as we've talked about, Paul Schaefer got more distance on the jump. That didn't matter. It's at the finish line where Dan Patrick was the winner.
Tough break for Paul Schaefer, but Dan Patrick, very strong, very smooth. And Dan Moriarty is caught up with a very disappointed Paul Schaefer, the driver of Monster Patrol.
Hi, Paul, that was a photo finish. What's your call for being in the cockpit?
Well, I tell you what, when I looked over, I seen him, and I was ahead of him when I seen him when I was up in the air. You know, when I turned the corner down, I hammered all the way, and I gained a lot of speed when I hit the cars, and I flew so much faster over the cars. He might have beat me to the end of the cars, but when I landed, I was probably 2 trucks ahead of him.
Tough break for Paul Schaefer. Gunslinger and Digger, our other semifinal, and we've got that action for you coming up on Monster Jam. You'll want to hang around for this.
This presentation of Motor Madness is being brought to you by WrenchHead.com, your ultimate online automotive superstore. Visit them today at www.WrenchHead.com.
Yo, G. Yo. You use...
All the bar-banging, two-wheel, gear-kicking action you love is coming at you as Arena Cross blasts into your town this fall. Catch 3-time champion Buddy Antonez and the best Arena Cross riders in the world. Log on and get tickets now at PaceMotorsports.com.
And here we go. We've got one more semifinal to run, and it involves the favorite here in New Orleans, Grave Digger. Dennis Anderson piloting this machine. He is going to be tough to beat, but Gunslinger has his sights set on the Digger.
What a matchup. You've got the hottest truck on the circuit in Gunslinger, the guy who really, as of late, has been knocking Grave Digger off the pedestal, even though Dennis Anderson still has the points lead. Dennis Anderson has something to prove here. You know, he's been on top too long. He doesn't like these new hot shots like Scott Hartsock coming up and stealing the thunder, as he did the last couple of runs at Indianapolis and, of course, back to San Antonio here on Motor Madness.
Both trucks are staged and are just about ready to go here for this semifinal run to see who will match up with Sampson in the finals. There's a look at Gunslinger. He is ready.
It is that air of confidence he's giving off right now. He just really believes that he's got these guys' number right now, and certainly for the last few weeks he has. Let's see if he's got enough, though, to take Grave Digger down again here in front of an absolute capacity crowd in the Superdome for this Pace Motorsports action.
Well, you see them on their feet here. There are so many Digger fans. He is obviously the crowd favorite here in the Superdome. That's Digger, who is on the top of your screen, far lane, barely even heading down to the first turn. Wow, what a great job in the turn. What an amazing job by Dennis Anderson and Grave Digger. Digger wins it, and what a job he did handling that truck in the turn.
Scott Hartsock has probably been in the Gunslinger the best turning driver all night until this race, and Dennis Anderson took him to school. What a beautiful turn by the Grave Digger driver, and you can see a big wave to all his fans. Let's watch it from inside with Dennis Anderson. Right back on it. You see, he only feathered it for a minute, and he was able to slide through the turn, keep it straight, and then he hammers. And, of course, at that point, at the end, he didn't care anymore. He runs over something.
What a unique view that was. And here is Scott Hartsock. As you can see, he gets off the throttle. Now gets back on it, but it just was not enough. Disappointing run for Scott Hartsuck, who loses to the Gravedigger.
All right, we've been talking about Mojo all night. The Mojo ran out in New Orleans.
Hey, this thing's had enough for tonight, you know. We went down there, that ground down there, it's just getting so tacky, you know. We didn't want to take a chance dumping the truck over. We got another big points race with us next weekend here in Houston. You know, Dennis is tough. Dennis is always tough. We pushed him to the limit last weekend. He rolled over, kind of puppy dogged him in the corner and stuffed him away. But, hey, it was his night. We came out here, put this old Mega Power Special in the semifinals. We can't ask for much more than that. You know, we got an unlucky number 3, so it just wasn't meant to be.
Let's watch Digger again as Dennis Anderson hammers.
Boy, it's really fascinating to watch from that low angle. You can really see the power of that truck. Let's hear from Dennis Anderson. He's with Dan.
Dennis, you're in the finals one more time. What'd you do? You changed lanes.
Well, I had no choice. We done a little coin toss between me and Scott. Scott's been hammering this left lane all night. I should have jumped over there and tried that right lane earlier, but I said, hey, I'll just take a shot in the dark. I had no choice. I don't like to take off over there as good as I do on this side. But anyhow, I won. Charged hard, coming out of the turn. Pulled off a wind, and hey, I'm going to the finals now, man. I haven't turned over yet.
I mean, Gunslinger's been hot coming into this weekend, too. He's a guy who's been reckoned with the past couple weeks. He's been winning. He just won't give up.
No, Scott's a good guy, though, man. He's a good driver. He's got one of the faster Ford trucks out here on the circuit right now, and hey, I just love beating those Fords.
Now it's time for some quad wars and a couple of teams here tonight who have had disappointing seasons to this point. We're talking about New Orleans and Nashville. They do have a chance to move up, but both have really not lived up to their potential, either team.
Taking a look at the first heat of action again. In the blue is Team Nashville. In the white, the homestanding New Orleans team. And a quick jump for Clyde Hicks, the captain of Nashville, and they never caught him.
Nope. As we look at highlights of that first heat, it was all Clyde Hicks of Nashville, and Nashville trying to bypass New Orleans in the standings, win heat number 1. Coming up, hey, hang on. We're going to show you some real power. We got the Sand Dragsters on Monster Jam.
It's the heart of Arena Cross and the soul of Supercross. Get ready for Ultra Cross. The Moto Stars of tomorrow are here today, and you can watch them shine this November and December. PaceMotorsports.com is the place to get tickets.
As we promised, time for the Sand Drags. These are always a fun part of our monster truck shows. The Spider, driven by Bill Hazelwood, going up against Quicksand.
Chevrolet and Dodge lining up here. The Spider 3, the Chevrolet out of Sherman, Texas, and Quicksand from Gardner, Massachusetts, 99 Dodge Dakota.
And that is Quicksand in the far lane. Quicksand on with the win, and will advance on. Boy, it looked like Spider kind of got bogged down a little bit there.
We're going to give another look at the replay as they come right at you, and you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, Steve Salvador gets a great shot in Quicksand. Had it all the way at a 2.332, a good, solid run. Going to put him into the shootout round.
There's a look at Magnum Force going up against Never Satisfied. Magnum Force driven by Greg Jones, Never Satisfied by James Carr. There you see Jimmy, who is ready to go. I like the look of Never Satisfied.
Got that Roadster highly modified 510 Rodeck engine, so a lot of power underneath the hood there, while Greg Jones in his 98 Dodge called Magnum Force 522 Chevrolet engine out of the great state of Kentucky.
Great shot for Jimmy. Jimmy Carr in Never Satisfied. Boy, he really got a jump there.
That's one of those when he not only did he get him on the whole shot, it looked like he extended the lead all the way. Magnum Force really never got much off the line and had nothing for him at the end. And what a brilliant pass right there. Perfectly straight, didn't waver at all. Great shot for Jimmy Carr, Never Satisfied.
So Never Satisfied will advance on in our Sand Drag competition. We look at it again, and you see on the left of your screen, Never Satisfied taking the win.
Best time we've seen so far, 1.97 seconds. Under 2 seconds for never satisfied.
That's pretty quick. More sand drags coming your way here on Motor Madness.
Will they blast through the rafters? Get to IFMA Freestyle Motocross and see for yourself. If you thought Superman could fly, check out Freestyle and see what a real Superman is. It's rocking the nation, and you can get tickets now at pacemotorsports.com.
More sand drags here in New Orleans. Mike Hogwood and Scott Douglas with you. There's Foolish Pleasure.
That's the young lady who battles the big boys every week here on the U.S. Hot Rod Circuit. Shay Clark and Foolish Pleasure will match up with the Red Devil in this one. Now, the Red Devil is David Hunt. Yeah, out of Anna, Texas. 1998 Chevy Suburban.